Hi everyone, Weird Thinny Angle Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a vinyl update. It's been a while, it's been a minute. I've had some recent additions to the record collection that I thought would be worth going over here pretty quickly. Some personal faves, some epic ones as well. Shout out to Turntable Lab. Their link is going to be down below in the D-Box, our affiliate link with them. One of the records I'm going to talk about in this batch, at least one of my favorites in this batch, comes straight from them. But yeah, let's go over all these albums, all these projects, all these records that I am excited to share. First off, we did some content recently, short form stuff, Instagram, TikTok, and the like, over at a record store from my neck of the woods, Elm City Sounds. Look them up, Elm City Sounds. And after we did a bunch of videos in their shop, and I was going to pick up some records there, I kind of already planned on doing so, the owner gave me for free this OG copy of Mission of Burma's Signals, Calls, and Marches, which was priced at $100. Like, goddamn, I was staring at it, I was looking at it, I was like, that is one of my favorite EPs of all time, and I was like really tempted to like get it. I don't usually like, I'm the type of collector, I'm the type of person that when I buy a record, I'm buying it just to sort of have it, to own it, to play it. Like, you know, if I have a new pressing of a fresh, recent pressing of like a classic Black Sabbath album or something like that, I'm not going to go stare at like, a super expensive OG pressing of that same record on the wall and just kind of be like, typically, and just be like, I really need to get that. I have a copy of the record. I don't need like the really expensive OG copy to like, because again, when I buy something, I'm usually planning on listening to it, planning on playing it. And I have listened to this actually as well, even though, it is the rarity that it is. And yeah, I just said, hey, take it. I guess he just like, really appreciated the fact that the content was bringing him some attention and business. And yeah, it's in fantastic, absolutely fantastic, killer condition. Here's the original sort of like browner sleeve. I slipped a new record sleeve on it, and yeah, I mean, nothing too crazy, standard, typical black pressing with the made in Boston. Nice. I mean, the band's from Boston, made in Boston. It was printed in Boston. Ace of Hearts Records, the legendary label that Mission of Burma called home at one point. But cool stuff. If you're looking for some very creative, groundbreaking, again, post-punk, art punk, experimental rock, even though the band would go on to drop records that were like, and songs that were like more adventurous by comparison. This is like not their most experimental stuff. I recommend you check out That's When I Reach for My Revolver, This Is Not a Photograph, both two incredible tracks off this thing. And also, I'm just seeing this now. I did not notice this when I picked up the record. This old-ass printed photo of everyone. Look at these headshots. Everyone's looking fantastic in these headshots. And on the back end, oh, it's got that musty record store smell. It's just a bunch of words just in alphabetical order. I think these are actually the lyrics to all the songs, but they're just all printed in alphabetical order. Aisle, I'm, inside, into, is, its, jacket, jar, just, keeps, lay, leapt, leg, life, line, live, look, makes. Makes is printed twice. Me, mighty, mine, mirror, monster, monuments, most, mother, must, muted, mine, name, new, no, not, nothing, now, of, off, oh, on, once. So, okay, that's an interesting way to go about a lyric sheet. Damn. Again, I didn't when I played this, and I slipped on the new sleeve. I didn't realize that was in the mix there. That's incredible. That's cool. But yeah, shout out again to Elm City Sounds for this copy of Signals, Calls, and Marches. Incredible EP, incredible EP. This is new, fresh 20th anniversary limited collector's edition copy of a record that is classic in my mind. Amazing post-hardcore, noisecore, a lot of people would say like sasscore record. Blood Brothers Crimes, one of the best records, loud rock records of the 2000s in my opinion. This is coming straight from Turntable Lab. Shout out to them. Mind-blowing album, absolutely mind-blowing album in my opinion. I have not popped this open yet. I have not spun it. I have not played it. I mean, I already have like, a CD copy of this that I've been listening to for years. So, as I have seen some, other pressings and versions of this out and about here and there, I haven't sprung on them, haven't bought them because, again, I kind of already own a copy. But because the good people over at Turntable Lab know that I'm very much into this album, they wanted to send me the 20th anniversary edition. And that is a very cool raised print of the sort of trees on the front cover there. There we go. Looks like it's we have an A, B, and C side on here. Is it, let's see, Metronome, Ladies and Gentlemen, Crimes, alt version. So it looks like the C side is just sort of like extras, which is really cool. What's in the gatefold? Anything crazy? Oh, that's sick. I like that layout. That is sick as hell. And I believe they're touring again, or going to be touring again. So if you get the chance, and I've seen them live before back in, their heyday. If you get the chance to see Blood Brothers live, like, please do. That's sick. That's sick as hell. Oh, I know it's a color. What's the color? We have like this wonderful like pro-trans the color scheme pressing. Blood Brothers says trans rights with this record pressing. Very much in support of that. Very happy about that. And goddamn, cool little insert book. Most likely lyrics in here. Yeah, we have all the lyrics in here. All the printed lyrics. Cool little images, photo cutouts, collages, and the like. I like this art layout. That's so thorough. That's so cool. That's so creative. Awesome stuff. Got the liner notes in there too, as you would want with such an anniversary pressing. Love to see an anniversary pressing where clearly a lot of effort is being put in. But great art, great color scheme, great everything. Oh damn, there's another book? There's 2 books? What's in the second book? Oh wow. Oh, okay. It's like a whole liner note explanation of like the origin of the band and everything. Really kind of giving the backstory and the history. That's awesome. God, again, I was at one of these shows back in the day. They were opening for Against Me, I believe, or Against Me was opening for them. I can't even remember at this point, but it was such a great show. Man, their live performances are really chaotic. Oh, this is really thorough as far as like going into the backstory of the band with everything that's written here. Crazy. 2000s craziness. 2000s post-hardcore craziness. Damn, this is a lot. Again, this is pretty in-depth. Oh my god. The camera guy. He's just trying to document the show, man. And the guitarist is just falling right on top of him. Craziness. Sick. Love this band. Underrated band. Zachary Lipez writing this, apparently. Shit. Good stuff. I'm gonna have to read that later and dive deep into that. But this is a sick pressing. This is sick. What a great 20th anniversary celebration. Turntable Lab also sent me this, although I am kind of like hesitant to pop this open right now. An Operation Ivy 37 of 700 repressing of their breakout debut. Look, if I'll say this, like without opening this up right now at this moment, because I'm still kind of making a decision here. If you have not heard of this record, like essential third wave ska punk. Okay, if you're looking to get into any kind of ska, punk, and punk music in general, this is like a great gateway type of album. So get into this, please. Operation Ivy. I do want to open this up, though. This is a recent one, a recent favorite of mine. Gave this record a very positive review. The new album Fairyland Codex from Australian noise rockers, art punkers, Tropical Fuckstorm. Excellent album. It's despondent. It's dark. It is crushingly sad, but also beautiful in its best moments, too. Love that. Sick. Simple. Got the record in here, and it is a beautiful splattery blue and pink. That's a great color scheme for the album art it accompanies. Good stuff. Great stuff. Lost my download code, but that's fine. That's okay. But yeah, this is excellent. This is sick. And it feels like a nice, thick pressing, too. It's substantial. It's a substantial pressing. Goes in like a glove. Nice stuff. Nice stuff. Again, shout out to Tropical Fuckstorm. One of the most consistent and creative bands out of Australia right now, and they don't get enough attention. They don't get enough attention, especially for having a name that cool. Tropical Fuckstorm. Everybody should be messing with you after you have a name like that. Shout out next to Chat Pile, because these next two are from them and The Flenser. We have Cool World. And also a really cool record over here where they've compiled, their two sort of breakthrough EPs before they came out with a full-length album. This one, in God's Country. They compiled their two of their major EPs that they were dropping before they, came out with albums together onto one record, which is really cool. I have enjoyed those EPs in the past, and I have not had the chance or opportunity to own physical copies of them myself. So it's really awesome that they sort of have them put together on this Dungeon Earth, Remove Your Skin Please, full-length record experience. Here we go. I almost poked myself in the eye. Got the liner notes, the lyrics printed there. Oh, whoa, this is sick as fucking hell. What the fuck? Like, it's this green and white splatter, but the splatters are kind of like going out. I wonder how the hell they do that. The splatters have a direction. Like, they're all sort of like moving away from the center of the record. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I mean, I've seen a lot of splatter pressings over the years, but like a lot of the splatters tend to sort of like look almost like dots or freckles or go in random directions. These all have a direction. That's interesting. Maybe I'm clueless and I'm a moron and I'm not recalling past experiences looking at records correctly, or maybe I'm just sort of taken aback by the green-white contrast, but either way, you don't see that every day. And it's also very brat. That's a very brat pressing. It's a very brat pressing. And this over here, Cool World, this is their latest album. Gave it a very positive review. If you're looking for some despondent, heavy sludge with a lot of interesting and dark lyrics. Although this record from them was a little more straightforward than God's Country, in my opinion. Cool little sort of outer cardboard sleeve encasing the record itself. I know I've played that. I don't think I've played this one, though, just because like I've reviewed it and talked about it so recently. I don't know if I've spun this one yet. I don't think I did, actually, because the color here is looking like a complete surprise to me. What is this? Yellow and blue? Oh, wow. That's strange. That is a strange color contrast. Okay, both these pressings are very odd. Very odd, very unique color combinations. And sort of a... don't kill me. Don't fucking kill me in the comments. I can already see the comments now. Nothing happened. It just sort of dinged the edge there. Record's fine. Record's good. I'm not even touching the grooves. No grooves are being touched. Don't murder me in the goddamn comments, okay? Let me live. Let me live. Like you've never. Don't judge me. Like you've never. He who cast the first stone, okay? Remember that in the comments. Remember that. So shout out to the Flenser. Shout out to Chat Pile for putting out great stuff, great music. and accompanying that with pressings of records that make it pretty clear that you actually give a fuck and you care about the music that you're putting out, and you want to complement it with stuff that comes across like you really put some thought into the package, the total package. All right, there you go. Cool World, Chat Pile, excellent album. One of the coolest bands in loud rock right now. Also did an interview with them recently too. Very cool guys. Very cool guys. This one is a used pick from a record store I hit up. There's even a price tag on it. I did not pay this for it, unfortunately. It was not super expensive, but this says Goodwill $1.99. I actually would have been much happier to be the guy who found this at Goodwill for $1.99. I don't know why you would buy this for Goodwill at $1.99 and then eventually give it up, because The Pleasure Principle by Gary Numan is one of the best new wave albums of all time. Did you fall out of love with new wave? One of the coolest eras of music in the 80s? Are you kidding me? Like, there's so many good goddamn songs on this thing. Excellent record. Killer record. That's cool. Got the lyrics all written out there. And Gary and the gang, the squad, all showed up to hop on the Pink Pyramid. They're chilling. They're looking sick. They're looking dope. Doing their thing. Pretty straightforward black pressing, nothing crazy. It's and this is yeah, no, most definitely. I know I checked it and I looked at it when I got it, but like usually I will not buy something, you know, and pay over $10 for something from this time period and this era if the record's not in good condition, you know. Because again, I mean, I understand if the record's a little beat up and you're kind of buying it as a collector and there's not a lot of options for purchasing it out there. But again, my plans are always to play this shit when I get it. So, but again, you know, if you're unfamiliar with Gary Numan and you want to just like, you know, gateway track into this record, listen to Cars. And Cars, but there's a lot of good tracks on this. It's a great new wave record, new wave classic, Gary Numan, one of the new wave goats. Check it out. All right, shout out to MSPAINT over here for coming out with this EP. Holy shit, this thing rules. You know, in a lot of ways, these guys were kind of like a pretty straightforward synth punk band off the bat. And, you know, I thought they had like some potential. You know, I heard some good ideas, some good stuff, but maybe not enough like variation in their style and in their sound. But this new record over here, like, not only do you get those punk elements and those synthier elements, but there's like tracks on here that go in a bit of a prog direction, bit of a rap direction as well. They're covering a lot of stylistic bases on this new EP. What's the title of it? I forgot. Hell's the title of this EP? Again, I know the band is MSPAINT. And I heard, you know, I streamed the tracks on this EP before I bought it. What the hell is it? God damn it. Why is it illegible? What the fuck is going on? I can feel it now. I won't let this break me. I know these are the tracks. No Separation is the name of the EP. Okay. Yeah, now that I know that that's the title, I can read it. No Separation, except like the text is psychotically squiggly. And I already have a touch of dyslexia as it is. So this is actually, I think, the thickest pressing I'm touching this entire video so far. This is pretty dense for an EP, and there's just like 5 tracks on it. The entire other side is just flat. There's like, look at that reflection. There's like literally nothing on it. It's just like a mirror. There's not a single groove on this side of the record. I feel like this could have been a 10-inch, although I don't really know what the economics of printing records is these days. Most likely it has changed and shifted. Maybe, you know, sort of doing certain pressing, certain colors, certain sizes, something is more or less expensive. Maybe there's more of a, or less of a likelihood that somebody's going to pick it up if the record isn't of a certain size when they see it in the store. You know, people do tend to sort of dig into the LP bins more than they do the 7-inch bins these days, which I think is a shame. But still, with that being said, it's a really great EP. It's very good. I haven't been seeing too many crazy rave reviews for it, which I think is unfortunate. I do think it is a little overlooked this year, but again, the band is fusing together some really cool genre combos, and I think they deserve a bit more attention for it, and I think this is their best collection of material yet, and I would very much look forward to sort of seeing where they go from here after this. All right, got a couple more I want to do. What order do I want to do these in? Shout out quickly to Judy Collins. Not one of the biggest, but I think, you know, one of the more respectable, straightforward, contemporary folk artists of the 1960s. I've heard a lot of her, or not a lot, but some of her early studio stuff. I'm not as into hers as I am, you know, on that front as I am like, you know, Phil Oakes, Bob Dylan, Joan Baez, so on and so forth. But this live album, which, I mean, pretty much the only reason I picked it up is because it was in excellent condition, like pretty much flawless, almost like not a scratch on it. Excellent condition, and it was $1.50. I believe I paid for this. I bought this for $1.50 at a sort of a consignment clothing store that I was in, and there just happened to be like some records there. So I was just digging around and just saw some random super cheap buys. And I saw this and I was like, I do like a few Judy Collins songs, and you know, I don't know anything about this live record. It seems like super early in her career, so I mean, you know, could be fire. Listen to it. It's actually fucking excellent. It's a killer live album. It's really, really good. The singing is incredible. The guitar playing is incredible. She has a backup bassist, upright bassist in the mix too, who's very talented. The performances are just absolutely killer. I especially love her version here of The Lonesome Death of Hattie Carroll. I've always enjoyed the Bob Dylan version, but I might like her version of the track over here on this a little bit more. This is just a killer live album. Moving, amazing performances. Her vocals are amazing, and the crowd audience, the clapping is really intense too. It's like you know, listening to it on the hi-fi, it's like you're almost there. But yeah, excellent record. Killer record. And you know, one that, again, how I kind of came across it, seems like one that's like not in super high demand, and you can probably come across pretty cheap if you find it used somewhere. But this is a really good live album. I was surprised. It definitely got a lot more than $1.50 of enjoyment out of that. Shout out to Honningbarna, Norwegian punk outfit, just reviewed this new record of theirs, and I think it is one of the best and most killer punk albums that I've heard this year. A little bit of Hives influence, a little bit of Refused influence. It's noisy, it's riffy, it's intense, it is chaotic, but there's like a handful of catchy tracks here and there. Throat shredding vocal performances as well. Soft Spot is the name of the album, and I really love the I don't know, the weirdly psychedelic and strange kind of like color palette, and the way the sort of like, you know, picture kind of shifts into this, you know, gradient past the horse's face. Very cool stuff. Very cool pressing. Nice quality cardboard too on the gatefold. It's such a cool bit of album art. I think it's a black pressing, just straightforward black. Oh no, it's blue. I forgot. Shit. And I played it too. Forgot this thing is just sky blue. Very nice. Very cool. But yeah, record sounds great. Spun it myself. Played through nice. And I've already reviewed the album. Like I said, it's an excellent album. One of the better rock records I've heard so far this year. If you're looking to get into some recent punk rock, this is a good one. Honningbarna, Soft Spot. They also sent me some pressings of some of their older albums too, which, you know, shout out to them for that as well. Because again, reminder, post doing my review of this, so while it seems like a lot of people are kind of catching on to this band, they've actually been around in the European punk scene for years and years and years and years. They have records going back like a decade, so this is like they're not this is not their first rodeo, that's for sure. Again, excellent album. This is next my favorite Meridian Brothers album. Have not popped it open yet. I just got it handed to me the other day. Meridian Brothers and El Grupo Renacimiento. This is basically like a very odd kind of concept album, like an experimental cumbia sort of experience. If you're at all familiar with Meridian Brothers, they make some very intriguing and groundbreaking and genre-defining Latin music. Not genre-defining, but genre-defying is what I want to say. They just pull from a lot of different inspiration points. Even their last album had like some, high life, West African high life influences on it, on the guitars, which is kind of crazy. But this one over here kind of sees the band, quote unquote, collaborating with a made-up group. Again, I have a review for this record. I think it's excellent. I think it's amazing. There's a lot of cool social commentary on this album as well. But it just sounds like some very, very odd... it's again, if you really want to review, like, there's me on the back end. There's me. That's me. Look at that. Look at that guy. Kid, is it too blurry? Can you see that? That looks like me. That looks like me right there, the bald guy with the glasses. That's me on the back. Anyway. It's a very great album. It's a super creative album from the Meridian Bros. I loved the hell out of this when I reviewed it, and I had to have a copy because I just think it's such a fun album. It just, it brings together a lot of cumbia influences and other stuff too, but they twist it in a way that feels so odd and uncanny and weird, and they sort of like all do it again under the guise of like, oh, this is a collaboration with this like long lost band that, people have like never heard of before, that they just sort of like made up, for just the bit. So it's like, it's a really creative, cool, entertaining, Latin album, but there's like a bit attached to it. There's a very creative, interesting bit in the mix. Straightforward sleeve with the lyrics printed. We have a cool green pressing here. Cool. Sick. It's like a deep forest green that looks a little lighter in person than it does on my monitor, but very cool. Very sick. Putting that back in there. But yeah, I just opened it now. I have not played this one yet. I'm very much looking forward to putting this one on the turntable when I get a minute. And finally, shout out to Jimmy Cliff, Harder They Come, film soundtrack, and also one of the greatest reggae albums of all time. Jimmy Cliff, one of the greatest reggae artists of all time. One of the most notable and important sort of music and movie tie-ins of all time. If you're really looking for a bit of a gateway reggae drug that is not Bob Marley. I mean, Bob Marley and the Wailers, obviously, nothing wrong with that sort of being like, your intro into the world of reggae, and or, ska as well. But still, Harder They Come is still an incredible way and place to start if that's in fact what you're looking for. And you want to be a little less obvious about it, I suppose. Pretty straightforward pressing. Didn't really pay too much for this. I should probably put a new sleeve in here because this one's a little aged and beat up. But record's in really great condition. Held up for all these years really well, and whoever had this before me clearly took great care of it and did everything they could not to bang it up. So, shout out to all the previous owners of this record. One of whom may have been JF. Gotta love an old pressing of a record and someone puts their initials on it. It always feels like a bit of interesting history going on there. I'm actually going to leave that sleeve there because I think I'm going to put a new sleeve on it. Always a bit of interesting history there. It's sort of like when you would go to the library and sort of look at the library card and see all the sort of like the names of the previous people who took it out. And it's like, oh, okay, JF used to have this record. Anyway, I'm digressing. That's going to be it for this vinyl update. Those are all the vinyl that I got recently and made it into the collection. Again, Turntable Lab link down below, especially because they sent us in that Blood Brothers anniversary repressing, which is excellent. And yeah, hopefully you guys got some good recommendations out of this video. You're the best. Mwah. Over here, probably another video that you can check out next to my head, and I think that is going to be it. So Anthony Fantano, records for forever.